Hi, my name is Marcus Cardona. I'm a stand-up comedian based in Brooklyn, originally from Buxton, Maine. I live in New York, so that means I have a million side hustles. I dress like a skater. Tony Hawk, pro skater, just taught me how to dress up. I am a serial hoe. New York, there's just options. Maine, there's not, so. Let's see what we got here. This is like origami. Which one of your parents are you most like? If I didn't do comedy, I just continue to be an introverted person. My dad's obsessed with like his lawn. He doesn't really talk to a lot of people until he gets drunk, and I'm like, that's me. My mom just is like a go-getter, so I'm like, I think I'm more like my mom because of that. I'm gonna go with my mom. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, I'd be more like my dad, but definitely more like my mom right now. Do I like the traits that I have? I'll say this, I wouldn't change myself for anyone else. I don't feel like the need to appease to other people. The one trait I don't like is upon initial meeting of someone, I'll tighten up just because I'm like, I don't want them to think I'm aggressively weird. I want that to be like third time we hang out. Like first dates, awful. I'm not myself, I'm just like, okay, how awkward are you gonna be? I definitely like following someone on Instagram before asking them out. You just get to watch their stories and be like, oh, okay. You're pretty like normal and you're pretty weird and stuff like that. Follow someone on Instagram before you actually date them. Out of all the traits that I wish I had from my parents, financial responsibility. My parents are both like immigrants, so they like came to this country with like $0. Did I aspire to be like either one of my parents? Absolutely not. Like my dad worked at a paper mill. My dad just like worked hard. I'm like, he's a hard worker. And then my mom, she's very like religious. She is very liberal. She's very fixated on her thoughts. My mom likes traveling, but like my dad's like stubborn. I'm like pro my parents' divorce even though they love each other, which is awful. He does the same thing 9 to 5 every single day. And my mom like is like a go-getter. I didn't want to aspire to be my mom because I'm like, she kind of settles, but she like has very hard thoughts. And my dad is just like a very simple, my day is the same. And then if something changes, he like freaks out. Was my parents' relationship ever a model for me? Well, my parents are like straight up like a business partnership. Marcus is gonna not use his college degree. Okay, so we're gonna take a loss in this quarter. I think that's like the realest thing that my parents have done. Was my parents' business model for a relationship part of my upbringing? Kinda, absolutely. I try to date up like business-wise. It's like a Shark Tank like proposal. I'm like, okay, cool. So what's your favorite color? Okay, in terms of income, how much are you planning to bring in this quarter? I'm a hoe, but I'm romantic still. Like, yeah, I've slept with people, but I thought it was gonna work out with every single one. Monogamy for me is like kind of a harder thing because for them, there were no options really. They're like, okay, cool, we had to get this green card, we had to like work together. I built a lot by myself. It's like you're trying to figure out a new manager after you've had a great manager. You're just like, all right, can you live up to the standard? It's like, oh no. I was like, we're losing money and time. 8th grade. How long did I follow the values set by my family? I'd say it was about 8th grade, just because that's when I lost my virginity. I feel so bad about this. I told the girl I was like leaving, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to this different high school. She already lost her virginity. I never lost my virginity. I just want to make sure that we have like a very special summer together. And then straight up like after that, I'm like drugs. Do grades really matter? It was that turn. I had a really clean like student record. I never got in any fights. I never did like anything. And up until 8th grade, I would follow my parents' ideals. Do my parents' and grandparents' values align? I'd say yeah, in some aspects. My grandma, her values were like work until you have kids. And then you spend all your time devoted to your kids. I feel like that's like my parents' thing. There's like a lot of pressure for me to have kids. But at the same time, it's like while I'm not, they appreciate the fact that I'm working hard for what I want to do because they realize that once I have kids, you're done like living your life. Like, my parents and my grandma, who's still alive, both still religious. They both definitely value like hard work. Do I think that I'm gonna pass down the values to my kids if I have kids? Yeah, I am super grateful that I grew up religious because like, what if God knows about you like doing this thing? I'll say this, I'm never myself. I'm never fully myself with my parents and like the family just because I went to a festival and did a bunch of drugs. Like, they don't need to know about that. If I do have kids, I definitely will teach them how to be a good person, the realism about like money and relationships. What do I think the future of dating and relationships looks like? After Facebook and Instagram crashed for a couple like hours, if you dated before dating apps, I'd say like my most passionate like relationships I've been in, like meeting people at bars, like in natural situations. Join clubs, try to be social, try to find people who already have like the initial connection with you on something. I'll go to Comic-Con and I'll find myself a nerdy girlfriend. There's gonna be people who overcome that dating apps aren't the thing to go like actively seek a relationship in. I think that's going to be the next shift of dating apps, where it's going to be like people starting a family, like dating app, and then there's going to be like the traveling dating app. I think that's going to be the next shift of dating, and there's going to be like a doomsday dating app. I need like a medic in my group of people. Marcus, I have nutrition skills, nursing skills. I can also write, and I can also entertain you in an apocalypse situation if we're in a bunker. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Marcus Cardona. You can also follow me on Twitter at Marcus Cardona. But on Facebook, it's official Marcus Cardona. I also produce shows in Brooklyn and New York, so if you're ever in Brooklyn, New York, follow me so you can find out about shows. I also tore up 2 Main too, so. I just want to get 2 wrong. I'm like gonna be like, I know the answer, but I'm like for the cause. Who is the famous weed affiliated rapper originally named Calvin Cortazar? Is it Snoop Dogg? Like, it's either Snoop Dogg or it's Wiz Khalifa. What sport has official rules to cover T intervals? Is it cricket? Oh my God, yo, British sports. I'll do the challenge regardless. What is the most productive day of the work week? Is it Thursday? Tuesday. Okay, 2 for Tuesday. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I got 1 wrong. Can we just pretend I got 2 wrong? I have to eat 10 jalapenos and then do a shot. So there's a challenge. 10 jalapenos. It's a little spicy. 10 jalapenos. I'm gonna do a shot of this. Bombs up. So this is Marcus Cardona. Had such a pleasure with Allie York. Make sure you follow her on all social media. But this has been a great time here at Serial Monogamist, and thank you for watching.